when it comes to our aquariums, does it matter that they look good? Does it matter what other people think about our aquariums? Yes and no. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Hey fish friends, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Zenzo from Tazawa Tanks. Now, I think sometimes when we talk about how something looks, obviously we're talking about people's opinions, and they can be all over the place. So not everything is for everybody. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the way something looks, regardless of how well it's put together. You could be an award-winning aquascaper and win #1 in the world, and there will be hundreds or thousands of people even that will disagree and say that the person that finished 20th or 30th or 59th, like my friend Ryo, they might say that their tank looks better. So there's always going to be, someone's opinion that's going to differ from others, and obviously we can't control that. But I think that for a lot of us, we do care about how our tanks look to other people. I think that sometimes that's a slippery slope because you don't want to do things specifically to please other people when it comes to your aquariums. Obviously, it's important for you to enjoy what you've put together, for you to enjoy your aquarium because you are, the aquarium owner, you're the aquarium keeper, you're the one that's taking care of all the fish and the plants, etc. So it is important for you to love what you've put together. But I think for a lot of us, we do care about what other people think. So when I have people come over to this fish room, friends or family members or whomever, when they come in here, they're like, wow, and they're like looking at the tanks and looking at the fish and commenting on about how clean they are. There's a sense of pride there, and I do enjoy that. When they go upstairs in my living room, they sit in the easy chair and they're looking at my Tanganyika tank or my other tank, which I haven't shared with you what's going on in there yet. When they look at those tanks and they are interested or they're enamored by how clean or how good the fish look or whatever, that does make me happy. Now, yes, ultimately it's about what I want. So if there's a tank that I've set up a specific way and I'm happy with it, that's what's most important. And the same for you. If you've set up a tank and you love it, your fish are healthy and happy, but maybe, you post a photo on a forum and other people don't like it, it's not that big of a deal. But I do think that for a lot of us, we do care to some extent about what other people think. Because again, if you have someone come over to your house or your office or wherever you have your aquarium, and the majority of people think that it looks really good, you're going to feel good about it. And when you feel good about something, you tend to spend more time and attention on it. So if you have an aquarium that it looks okay, or it's kind of not great, maybe there's a bunch of algae all over the place and it just kind of looks neglected, and when people come over, they're like, oh, you got an aquarium, it looks kind of gross. You're probably going to either want to fix it and make it look good, or you're going to feel bad and you're going to just ignore it, right? You're going to ignore that eyesore and kind of just do the bare minimum to keep everything alive and healthy, but you're not going to do a whole lot to make it look good. But if you get that positive feedback, if people reach out and say, or they say, wow, this looks great, or I love what you've done here, you're going to take pride in that as well, and you're going to just make sure that, hey, every time before someone comes over, I'm going to do a little bit extra just to make sure that this thing pops and looks really good. So I think that presentation is nothing wrong with that, as long as you're happy with what you've done. Now, down here in this fish room, yes, I have tanks that I have set up the way that I want them. So I don't listen to what other people tell me what I should do. Like, oh, you should do this with that tank, or you should put that fish in that tank. I don't listen to that kind of stuff. I do what I want to do. I keep what I want to keep. However, I am sharing my tanks with other people on the internet. You're watching now. And it is important that I make them look good for all of you and for other people that do also enjoy these tanks besides myself. So while I keep the fish that I want to keep and I decorate them the way I want to decorate them, it's still important that they look kind of good. Now, with that being said, there is one tank down here that I am particularly fond of and quite proud of what I've done with setting up this tank. Now, it's no secret, it's no surprise, it's my Indian mudskipper and bumblebee goby paludarium that's back there that has the waterfall and it's a brackish system with the mangroves growing out of it. I'm really, really happy with that tank. Of all the tanks that I've put together, my Tanganyika tank upstairs and other tanks that I've, designed, like my African mudskipper tank, that one in particular is something that I'm really happy about. I'm happy with the tank size. I'm happy with how it came out because I had a vision in mind before I built it. So I had this whole idea about how it would be built. The waterfall, everything is perfect in my opinion. Could it be better? Sure, I'm sure someone could make some tweaks to it, or I could make some tweaks to it to maybe make some improvements. But in my mind, I love it. And there's one person that is a professional critic of aquariums, and I thought it would be fun to basically submit my tank here to this person, which is Chris from Fish for Thought. A lot of you probably know Fish for Thought. He's a big TikToker and YouTuber. I thought it would be fun for me to share this tank with him and get his thoughts on my brackish paludarium for the mudskippers. So I would love to know what you guys think of this tank. Now, I'm not going to change it regardless of what your opinion is. If you trash on it or whatever, okay, well, that's your opinion. But I would love to, kind of get some feedback on what you guys think about this tank, because it's something that I probably spent more time setting up that tank than any other tank. So I am interested to hear your thoughts. And I would also love to know your thoughts about this subject in general. When you keep aquariums, obviously you're watching this channel, so I assume that you have fish tanks. How do you kind of approach this? Do you care what other people think? Does it make you feel better when your friend or your brother-in-law or sister or your parents come over and they take a look at your aquarium and they say that it looks good? How does that make you feel? Does that make you happy? Are you indifferent? Or on the opposite end, if someone comes over and says, "Oh, your tanks look like trash," how do you feel about that? So comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this tank, and let me know your thoughts on your own tanks and how people act when they see them and how that makes you feel. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.